Hello everybody, and welcome back to the Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep Final Mix playthrough. So, obviously we beat the Trinity Armor, everyone had that conversation, everyone's fallen out. I have to say, I pretty much side with Aqua in this situation, because you've got Terra going, "Oh, you've been spying on me," and Aqua's just like, "Oh, wasn't exactly what the Master said, but I've been to the same places as you and I see what you've done and I'm worried." And then Ben's just like, "Oh, but you were just ordered to bring me home." And it's just like, well, no, of course she was ordered to bring you home. Like, what did you expect was going to happen? And also, if she wasn't down with the orders she was given, why would she be doing them? So it's just like, guys, you've kind of just blown this all out of proportion. And also it's that whole thing of a lack of communication, which which is part of tragedy, and is something that is a pretty decent port of reference for really most modern day tragedies, or at least everything from Shakespeare to today. Is a lot of tragedies, literary tragedies anyway, come about by characters not communicating with each other. So for instance, you've got King Lear, which you've got his daughter Cordelia saying, I can't say that I love you with all my heart, because at some point I will have a husband, and then I can't love you with all my heart because at least part of my heart will belong to my husband, and it'd be wrong to say that. And then Lear just going absolutely ape over that point. And then time going along there, and the people that Lear knows not actually telling Cordelia sooner what's happened to her father at the hands of her sisters. Like, things could have been sorted a lot sooner. A tragedy would not have had to happen. With Othello, you've got Iago pretending, or at least poisoning Othello's mind to be incredibly jealous and to believe that Desdemona is cheating on him with one of his highest ranking officers. But at no point does Othello sit Desdemona down and say, "What's going on here? I've been told that you've been cheating on me. Is this true? I've been given this handkerchief as proof that you've been cheating on me. Why did you give this to him?" And then Desdemona would have been able to say, "Well, actually, I just lost that, and I haven't cheated on you whatsoever," and then all would have been sorted. There would have been no tragedy. But there we go. Anyway, here's little Enzo, little Zexion before he became Zexion. I like this.
Thanks. We have done our best to raise the boy, since his poor parents are not here to do it.
Oh, you're on your own, huh? Sir, I'm looking for a friend of mine. He's a tall guy dressed kind of like me. Have you seen him?
Perhaps I did see him in the outer gardens. Just follow this road.
Thank you.
No, thank you for keeping Yenso out of harm's way. And, well, let's say, I have a feeling we are destined to cross paths again.
So, yes, we also get reversal there, which is quite helpful. But yes, going on with my lack of talking in tragedies, you've got sort of the more contemporary tragedies as well, with things like Death of a Salesman, where characters have all these feelings and just don't tell anybody about them. And so they can't prevent the tragedy from happening because they're not talking about it. And it's that whole thing of when you put things into a real life perspective. If you look at something like suicide, which obviously very, very difficult subject matter, often what ends up happening is that people who are feeling suicidal don't talk about what they're feeling, and then nobody can actually step in to help. And while you can't always put the onus on the person suffering,
I know you'll be there.
it helps if either the friends are able to open that dialogue with their friend, or the person who's suffering could open that dialogue.
Yeah.
Because then the second you start talking about it,
Right.
people can help,
Thanks, Ven.
and therefore you can prevent a tragedy from happening. And I mean, really, that's a big, big, big reason why I'm so happy to be open about my mental health, really. I'm happy to talk about the fact that I suffer from depression and anxiety, and because I think a lot about things, I'm also able to, for me anyway, roughly get to the bottom of why do I think this emotion, or I'm going through this at the minute, and I'm able to get to the explanation. But that is also sort of what prevented me from really asking for help when I was going through, well, just before I got diagnosed, because I couldn't explain it, and that killed me inside, because I've always been a person who's very, very aware of why I think the way I do, and there's always a reason behind everything. I like to think logically, but I couldn't explain exactly why I just didn't really care about anything. Like, there is instances where like there's something that I should really care about, but just in my head, nothing. And for the longest time I couldn't put my finger on it. It was just like, I think I'm just down because like I'm struggling to get a job. I don't know what's going on with my life, but I'm kind of in a place where I can't break out of this. And I couldn't understand why, because I couldn't completely nail down a reason. And I had a sort of big breakdown over the new year that year, and that was the way it was just like, okay, there's definitely something wrong. And then when it came to, it was around the May of that year when I had gotten a year-long internship at the theatre. I got that, but I still didn't feel happy. And it was just like, okay, I definitely need to go to the doctors. Went to the doctors and got diagnosed, got put on tablets, because I felt that because I'm very aware of where I am, what I've been through, and why that might have triggered certain feelings and certain ways of acting, it's still... So I said tablets probably help me more than counselling, because counselling is just going to be get to the bottom of the issue, when actually I've already gotten to the bottom of the issue. It's just that brain chemistry is all messing me up. But talking about it and destigmatising it means that actually it could potentially help somebody else who's struggling to talk and deal with it. And hopefully that discussion has helped somewhat. But we're about to get a really, really fun, well, a slightly heartbreaking cutscene for a moment with Ven and Aqua, and then actually some really fun stuff with two particularly well-known characters within the Kingdom Hearts franchise.
Then I can't stay here.
Let me go with you, Aqua.
No, Ven. Do as I say and go home.
Why won't you let me?
I don't want to put you in harm's way. You understand?
Giving up already? Come on, Ven. I thought you were stronger than that.
Then, you almost had him. Just try it again.
Hey, wait. You're teaming up now? Ven, you see all those dents and nicks you got?
Each one of those is proof you're learning.
You're trying too hard to move your body. You need to learn to let your body move you. Right? In your hand, take this blade. And so long as you have the makings, then through this simple act of taking, its wielder you shall one day be made.
What's that about? Who went and made you master?
Being a Keyblade master is all I've dreamed about.
Well, you're not the only one.
I know. You, me, and Ven all share the same dream.
This yours?
Lee, we don't have time for this.
Lighten up, Isa. It'll only take a sec. You still play with toy swords? That's cute. Now this right here, ta-da! What do you think?
Not a whole lot.
You're just jealous. I'm Lee. Got it memorized? What's your name?
Ventus.
Okay, Ventus, let's fight. Fight? Why would I want to do that? You scared of losing? Come on. Hope you're ready. Yeah, now we're talking. You're gonna be sorry. You had enough? 'Cause I'm willing to call it a draw if you are.
Huh? Right.
From where I stood, the only thing you drew was a big L on your forehead for loser, lame, laughable.
What? Isn't this the part where you cheer me up or something? You're just having a bad day, or that's what you get for pulling your punches. Some friend.
Oh, you mean I was supposed to lie?
You see what I gotta put up with? Sure hope you don't have friends like him.
Huh?
Lee, we have to go.
Okay.
Already?
I'll see you when I see you. After all, we're friends now. Get it memorized.
Okay, Lee.
What is it with you and picking up stray puppies?
I want everybody I meet to remember me. Inside people's memories, I can live forever.
I know I won't forget you. Believe me, I try all the time.
See? I'm immortal.
You're obnoxious.
You ready?
Well, I can tell you are.
Yeah.
Must be nice. Knowing who your friends are.
So yes, Ven got to meet Lee and Isa, or Issa, or whatever the hell we pronounce that, which I think is really cool, because then that really well and truly creates a sort of full circle reasoning behind why when Lee becomes Axel, he ends up having such a close bond with Roxas, because ultimately, as you may have noticed already, Ventus and Roxas look exactly the same, apart from their clothing. So clearly there is a link there, which will eventually be explained throughout the course of Ven's story, and I think it is just Ven's story. But, well, also I think actually at the end of the final episode. So that's something that makes sense, but it's nice to see sort of the beginnings of that, because I will say that Axel / Lee has always been probably the most fascinating of all of the members of the organisation, because, well, I suppose it's because he's been given the most screen time and there's more depth to him, because he's not just a villain, there is a sort of, there is a full-on character there rather than a complete and utter stereotype, which is what ends up happening to the majority of the other organisation members. But before we actually finish off our time with Radiant Garden, I want to get that last sticker, because obviously I've levelled up high jump quite a bit, and I want my bloody sticker. It was sat there taunting me, and I just want to pick it up, and there we go, that's all that was needed. You just made me wait, you sods. But there we go, it's all done and dusted. I just need to murder a few enemies, and then we can head on to a brand new world and have a new venture, la la. I don't know why I had a little bit of Sonic Rush going on there, but it's because I was doing Sonic commentary the other weekend, and once Sonic's on the brain, it happens. But there we go. Time to save up and head onward.